Rah Gz before their famous tragic story of Ramon. Not even gonna butcher the last name.
Holy, that's how you start?
She's devastated. They killed their son.
Single mother is inconsolable. The Bronx woman is now mourning the loss of her 16-year-old son, Ramon Gil-Medrano.
Before 16-year-old drill rapper Rah Gz would die as a result of a shooting in the back of an Uber. He was born Ramon Gil-Medrano on September 7, 2004 in the Bronx to a family of Puerto Rican descent. When asked by the New York Daily News to describe the kind of childhood that Ramon lived, his sister would reveal he was just a kid who loved hanging out with his friends and playing video games and just looking forward to life. He was looking forward to getting a car, to learning how to drive, to graduating high school. But growing up in one of the most dangerous boroughs.
Facts. I think Rah Gz had the most potential at 800, and it's just like that's why I try to push for them to win, just because like they side right now is going through a lot with like, you feel me, these indictments and shit, and it's just like I really hope they win at the end of the day, like Nasty, Assassin, all of them. Because they really went through a lot of shit. You feel me? These indictments falling, they losing a lot of people to that. And then you got people like Rah Gz that was super close to them. And I think he has the most potential. He had the most potential at 800. And I just hope, you feel me, someone like Melly G, I think he has a lot of potential as well. And I just think, I hope they really take this rap shit serious, bro. Because I think Rah Gz, I think he's going to be the biggest what-if story in, like, Bronx drill history. Because I think he was nice with it. Yeah, bro. They didn't even know. Yeah, before they were famous as Milk and NY Drill, they didn't even know most of these people. They just making a vids because they're drill hot right now and they channel fell off. That's a fact. And I just I was watching No Jumper, and they was talking about before they were famous, and they was like, bro, they made like when X passed away and people passed away, bro, they make like 3 videos on this shit, bro. What happened to PNB Rock before they were gone, PNB Rock, the tragic story of PNB Rock. And they didn't really like go get the full details. Like Hip Hop Daily, like I remember after that shit, Hip Hop Daily shit, like they just take everybody else's content and just make their own video on it. That's just like, that's the internet though. Like they don't know anything about like these USG's videos, 81K in 12 days, bro. And I feel like they falling off for, I ain't gonna lie, like 400K, 500K. 22G's arrested for murder attempt, 165K. The story of TK and his friends. Lil TJ versus A Boogie beat. The story of JD Youngin. Like they just be going after big things like this, and I'm like, bro, why y'all doing a video on Spaz? Y'all don't even know him for real. Y'all just took fucking this person's video that's actually from New York and actually knows what's going on, and y'all just made it into a video, an 8-minute video, just so you could profit off the shit. USG's Face of the Bronx. Like they just be doing all that shit, bro. And I feel like before they're famous, they're doing the same thing, bro. But
I don't know about,
you feel me? When I see these rappers reposting their videos and be happy when they actually do it, it is what it is. I ain't mad at it. If they don't got a problem with it, if these rappers don't got a problem with it, I really don't. Oh shit, I didn't even know Legally had a video on them. I wasn't even paying attention. Like you see, Sugar Hill D got 200K. I don't even know who Paystay is, but they just be doing videos on anybody. That's what I'm saying. Like Andrew Tate, banned but not forgotten, 37K. Like they just be doing videos on anybody, and it's like, bro, I don't know if they be getting the full story, but they just be doing it on anybody, bro. They was going crazy, bro. I remember when they started first doing like rappers and shit. Like, what's their most viewed videos? Like, yeah, like X, the Catch Me Outside girl, like fucking Mia Khalifa's crazy. They did 3 videos on her. Like, Lil Pump, another X video. That shit crazy, bro. Another X video. Nah. Like, hey man, if rappers don't got a problem with it, man, I only got
Holy,
bro. I think their channel's fucked up, but I think it's a problem whenever you start like talking about people that passed away and making 7 videos on it. That's where I draw the line on some shit. But if the Jurors don't got a problem with them being on this platform with how many 3 million subscribers, cool.
Forward to getting a car, to learning how to drive, to graduating high school. But growing up in one of the most dangerous boroughs of New York City led to Rah forming links with the local street gangs known as the 800 YGs, and this association would get him into a lot of hot water with the police, including 3 arrests over the span of 90 days prior to his death. More than just that, he found himself in life and death situations, including in July of 2020 when he was shot for the first time at the intersection of Prospect Avenue and Oakland Place in Crotona. This attack would prove to be eerily similar to the one that would eventually claim his life and left him in critical condition. While Rah would ultimately survive this initial assault, police would never discover who perpetrated the attack and nobody was ever arrested for what happened. According to police, it didn't help matters that Rah refused to assist investigators in uncovering who assaulted him as he recovered from his wounds. Rah was hospitalized for 2 weeks with a deep flesh wound to the back before then finally being nursed back to health by his family at home, including his mother, as well as his sister and brother. His sister would later detail his recovery to the New York Daily News by telling them his recovery process wasn't easy. It was very painful for him and it was very painful for us to watch. It was a miracle he wasn't paralyzed. According to his mother, this new lease on life left Rah with a fresh perspective, and after recovering from his injuries, he decided to turn his life around by launching a career in music. Working with a few of his closest friends, Rah took the first few steps towards a music career in the early days of summer 2021. That's when he dropped collaborative efforts like BTB alongside ESGs, Nesty Flocks, and Assassin. Unfortunately, by the time the music video to his track popped up on YouTube, Rah had less than a month left to live. He just didn't know it yet. That's a f***ed way to say that. During his triumphant final period of life, Rah would step into the booth a few more times to record yet another song with Nesty Flocks and Assassin, this one titled Real Facts. But Rah Gz wouldn't be around to see it released as the music video dropped a little over a month after his passing. Since then, we haven't heard a single posthumous release, which means that Rah must have not had all that much material banked in the vaults. Instead, the last thing
I heard Nessie said that's gonna be on his album.
we'll remember him for is the violent events that unfolded on July 11, 2000.
Nah, I don't know if he probably reading the script, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know, bro. Like, yeah, it's just the way you be saying shit.
2021. That night, around 11:30 p.m., Rah Gz was waiting at the corner of 178th and Valentine Avenue outside his home for an Uber to arrive. When he finally did, he climbed into the back seat, and moments later was shot to death with gunshot wounds to his head and chest by 2 individuals who then fled the scene on scooters. The investigation into what happened would take local authorities a week to piece together, and they ultimately came to believe that Rah's death was a retaliation for the murder of 13-year-old Jerian Elliott, who was shot and killed only hours earlier outside a cafe in Belmont at around 3:30 p.m. in what has been described as an unstoppable cycle of revenge and retribution that's been tearing up the Bronx. In fact, crime stats from around that time suggest that gun arrests in the city were up more than 99% during the months that these incidents took place.
Medrano is one of 4 teenagers who were shot in 4 separate shootings citywide on Sunday. A 16-year-old in Brooklyn survived getting shot in the thigh near Pitkin Avenue, but the other 3 died. A teenager in Queens when he was shot just minutes after midnight on Quincer Road, and Jerian Elliott in the Belmont section of the Bronx on East 187th Street. A memorial is now outside the 13-year-old's apartment building.
Cell phone footage taken only hours after Elliott's death would reveal that Rah and some of his affiliates destroying a memorial that had been set up in his honor. Rah himself can even be heard taunting Elliott's friends.
But they did that the same day? They ain't do that same day. I remember Gz kicked him. Ain't no way.
Footage taken only hours after Elliott's death would reveal that Rah and some of his affiliates destroying a memorial that had been set up in his honor. Rah himself can even be heard taunting Elliott's friends, saying things like, "Where you at?"
Inside his building tonight, candles glow in the shape of his initials, J.E.
It's really messed up, you know? These young kids out here with these gang-related things. It's just breaks hearts, man. I just send my love to their family.
About a week after Rah's own death, 2 teenagers were arrested and brought up on charges in retaliation to his killing. 19-year-old Makai Williams, who is believed to be a member of the Third Side Gang, as well as an unnamed 15-year-old. Makai's charges range from second-degree murder to first-degree gang assault, conspiracy, criminal possession of a weapon, and reckless endangerment. Meanwhile, the 15-year-old was charged with second-degree murder and criminal possession of a weapon. Both suspects have prior arrest histories and ties to gang activity in the city, a senior NYPD officer would tell NBC New York. Rah's mother would provide context to what happened by speaking with the Daily News and telling them that he was on his way to a friend's house to record music at the time of the attack. She strongly believed that the attempt on his life a year earlier had turned his life around and set her son on a more positive path. right up until he was killed. She explained it was really bad for him last time. He was able to surpass that. He never went back to being the same person. He loved music and he was making a disc because he wanted to be able to sell his music, become famous, and make some money. Making matters even more tragic, both Rah's mother and sister were home at the time of the killing and heard the gunshots that ended his life. Despite having heard the attack unfold, Rah's family wouldn't know what happened until after they received a frantic phone call from a friend of Rah's, who was on the phone with him at the time everything went down. Realizing his friend had been
it was a year ago. Fuck. Didn't necessarily say he was the one. Yeah. Damn. That's crazy, bro. Like, being on FaceTime with somebody and just seeing that happen to him, bro. Like, that PTSD would be crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Heard the attack unfold, Rah's family wouldn't know what happened until after they received a frantic phone call from a friend of Rah's, who was on the phone with him at the time everything went down. Realizing his friend had been shot, he immediately called Rah's home number and informed his family of what happened. Rah's sister described his reaction to New York Daily News by telling them that was very horrific for him to hear on the phone, to hear his friend being killed while he was talking to him. More than 2 months later, another 2 teenage boys would be implicated in Rah's death. 19-year-old Hasib Cutts and an identified 16-year-old boy were brought up on charges of murder, manslaughter, and gun possession.
Wait, so is that 4 people? How they got 4 people? And there's only 2 spots on that scooter. Shit like that just don't.
The 2 teenage boys would be implicated in Rah's death. 19-year-old Hasib Cutts and an
that's like conspiracy shit. They gonna hit him with like conspiracy on some shit. Like, oh, you knew he was going to do what he had to do. Like,
16-year-old boy were brought up on charges of murder, manslaughter, and gun possession. As of right now, this case is still working its way through the New York City legal system, and official sentences haven't been handed out for anybody involved, leaving Rah's family with more questions than ever. In September of 2021, told the Daily News, "I feel like things are going well in the sense that people are getting arrested, but we don't know about the sentences yet. And are we gonna have to keep waiting to finally get a little bit more closure on the story of Rah Gz, a talented young rapper with the potential for great things whose life was taken far too soon?"
Yeah, I heard that too. I heard it wasn't even anybody from the Bronx.
He might be gone now, but here before they were famous, he'll never be forgotten. Rest easy, Rah Gz, along with everybody else who's tragically lost their life in the vicious cycle of violence in the Bronx that refuses to come to a stop. Thank you everybody for watching today's video. Please let us know what you thought about Rah's story in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications to make sure that you never miss an episode. My name is Clyde Smith, and I'll see you guys in another video.
Violence just needs to stop. Get the guns off the streets.
We just got to get together, make the neighborhoods better.
We need to take care of our children.
Yeah, taking the guns off the street not gonna do anything. People are still gonna get stabbed. People still gonna die, and they just need to find different avenues, bro. Lift the wages for 9 to 5, bro, so people can actually get a job, bro. Like, there's no point in doing a 9 to 5, doing a 40-hour week if you only get $300 at the end of the week. Like, that shit's just not worth that. You can make $300 on the street in a couple hours.
The guns off the streets.
We just got to get together, make the neighborhoods better.
We need to take care of our children and our community and be one.
That's too. Some of these parents, bro. These parents letting these 13, 14-year-olds get on the streets and really start doing shit. J Rip was 13 years old when he passed away, bro. That's crazy, bro. And he was already doing what he did on the street.
We need to take care of our children and our community and be one and stop fighting over petty stuff.
That's crazy, bro. That's a piece of Rah. Damn. Hey, the one thing, if you're gonna make a video on something, if you're gonna make a video on a topic that usually don't talk about, or do a video like this where, you feel me, they be doing the New York drill shit sometimes. They just started doing it recently. But if you're gonna do it, bro, at least do it right. At least tell the story right, which I feel like they did for real. I feel like they did, like, I don't know, bro. It wasn't that bad for, but I be seeing through it. I be seeing why they did it before they were famous on the New York drill shit. 'Cause that shit's gonna get the views. Is what it is. Can't do anything about it.